Hello everyone, Professor MoneyPigTrading. Today, January 18, 2023, we're going to look at an important but also weird earnings and stock, Netflix, and its earning preview. Why is Netflix so important? It's because Netflix actually has been highly correlated to NASDAQ 1 week after its earnings. So that's why we're seeing not a lot of movement of the market, especially after Bitcoin, Ethereum popped so much, and S&P 500 hit 400 or 4,000 SPX. And basically, we have been warning our followers that because of the nice rally in the first 2 weeks, it's better be aware to chase the market here, better take profits into the market. We have been hitting the stock market nicely, and you can see the SPY actually have a really heavy pullback on the hawkish Federal Reserve speeches today. And we actually have been warning our followers as well, and it did have a really heavy pullback once S&P 500 hit 4,000. And we actually push all the Federal Reserve speaker schedule, which will also make a video to show why that is important. That actually can drive the market a lot. That can actually optimize your trading. And because of that, with swing trading, we're taking profits nicely. SPY, we're hitting 200%. BABA, we're hitting 300-400%. And just take the profits in the pocket and just wait until this Netflix important earnings. And the other reason we think the Netflix is going to move the market is because if you look at the SPY options, implied volatility is as low as 10 to 15%. So that means the option traders are actually not expecting any move on the market until the Netflix reported earnings. So that's the other key factor to look at it. So if we look at the Netflix earning back to October 2022, and actually reported slightly better than expected results, and Netflix gap up 11% and eventually push up in total about 25%. And you can see NASDAQ in the next few days after the Netflix report, and you can see NASDAQ actually is QQQ push up nicely as well until Amazon, Facebook, Google, Apple, they report their earnings and dictate the market in their own ways. The same thing for the other way, right? Netflix, back to April 2022, actually the first time reported the negative subscriber growth. Netflix had a huge gap down from the current price level 326 all the way down to 200. And you can see NASDAQ, QQQ actually follow the same price action in the next few days, just like Netflix. So that's why Netflix earnings is so important, and the market is highly expecting it. So let's take a look at the Netflix weekly chart real quick. Netflix, since IPO, the stock price has pushed out very, very nicely because it's the breakthrough technology, put the movies on the streaming service. Everybody loves it. And subscriber growth was exponentially at the beginning and started to keep growing as well, all the way to 200 million worldwide, right? And during COVID-19, the Netflix stock price pulled back to around 300. And that's the time actually Netflix started rally all the way to 700 because of the Federal Reserve helicopter money. And also because so many people stay at home, they had nothing to do, just watch Netflix. So the Netflix subscriber growth was pretty tremendous. However, since last year, Netflix was not doing very well, dropped from the all-time high 700 all the way down to 180 because Federal Reserve started to raise the interest rate like very aggressively. That pulled down all the technology stocks. And also because COVID-19 post-pandemic, people started to travel. They stopped staying at home that much to watch Netflix. So the subscriber growth actually dropped quite substantially. And the past 2 quarters, Netflix was able to provide better than expected results. So you see the stock price start to push back from around 180 last year low all the way to 326 right now. So why Netflix is such a weird stock? Because the earnings always move from the paid members, the number of paid members. So if you look at the gray section, which is the last quarter that we also see the chart in the 2 slides ago, the original guidance was 221.67 million number of paid members. Okay, and then eventually they reported 223.09 million paid members. So in total, they added 2.4 million paid members in the last quarter, and the original guidance was 1.1 million paid members. So just by 1.3 million paid members added higher than expected, which divided by this 221.67, we're looking at around 0.5% of the slight improvement. And this 0.5% of improvement eventually pushed the Netflix stock up 22%, which is pretty crazy. And that's why I don't quite understand why a lot of analysts actually upgrade Netflix before the earnings, pound the table, say Netflix is so bullish. some influencers on social media as well. They're pound the tables. So bullish of Netflix. I think Netflix is gonna push up like $100 per share, which I'm just really dubious. Either they might have insider information, or they're just have such a good forecasting model that the error margin can be less than 1%, that they can capture this kind of move. Otherwise, we're bullish on Netflix, but not as confident as they do, because we know how the numbers and magic works. We just don't have any confidence to build a forecasting model that can have 0.5% of margin error. Last quarter, back to the earnings itself, the EPS was actually 50% better than the guidance, so that's pretty good. But the EPS is always a wild card, and you can see in the first two rows later. The revenues is actually slightly better than expected in the last quarter. So mostly what pushed out the stock price so much is really the EPS and the paid number of members. Right. Currently, the guidance for this upcoming quarter is at 227.6 million. The Wall Street consensus right now is 227.69. So 0.09 million better than the guidance that's expected. Right now, the paid net members added, the Wall Street is expected 4.57 million versus the guidance 4.5 million, so slightly better than the guidance as well. EPS, where right now the Wall Street is expecting 50% growth as well, and the revenue also expecting slightly growth. So a lot of high expectation on Netflix right now, and we just have to see how they guide, how they provide the number for the paid actual numbers. And also they will stop providing the guidance for the paid members, but they will still potentially still provide the EPS and revenues, those guidance. So we just have to see how Netflix guide their stock and how their paid numbers behave in the upcoming quarter. But again, we are leaning toward bullish, but just not pound the table betting that, saying that it's going to be out $100 per share, because we know again how low the error of margin is over here on the paid members number. So again, Netflix, everybody has a really high expectation, so the stock price has been pushing up. On average, the stock after the earnings is plus or minus 10%. We do expect a smaller move this time, probably between 5 to 10%. Either way, depends on the numbers that are being reported. So it depends on how the Netflix close tomorrow. Plus 5 to 10% or minus 5 to 10% is probably the range that we are expecting. We do not expect a huge move like 2021 and 2022, since we believe this optimism on Netflix has already pricing on the current stock price, or unless they really provide a way better than expected earning results, then that's another story, which again, we don't think that will be the case, but let's see how Netflix will impress us. So just wanted to highlight really quick, we have a really robust Discord community. 2022 small account. It's a difficult year for everyone, but we're able to grow this account from $350 back to May 2022, all the way at the year end around $1,200. So that's 252% upside, beating the market heavily. We also have a long-term investment and also outperformed the S&P 500. S&P 500 last year, 2022, down 18%. Our portfolio is also a growth focus portfolio, so also got hit. But actually, we're able to hedge the account properly. So the account, quotation mark, only down 9.8%. So still outperform the market again from 2020. So we're really proud of that. So if you're interested in our Discord community, feel free to check us out on www.moneypigtrading.com. We have Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook group, all MoneyPig Trading. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.